Saturday, we're fishing. Roll the intro. So, another day on Lough Erne. We're on the Lower Lough again. If I keep saying again. I was here last week. Well, I wasn't fishing on the spot, I was fishing over there last week. The infamous Trory Bay. Home of weirdos, doggers, drug addicts. The finest of Enniskillen people. So, I'm fishing long here, fishing at 60 metres, no 55 on this rod, 60 on the big rod, 45 gram window feeder, 3 foot hook length, size 12 hook, 4 maggots. My marker is the shipping thing. There we go. I'm not sure if you guys seen that, but I'm just fishing into the deeper water. I've got 4 bites so far and I've managed to get 1 roach in the net. And I'm going to have to fix my Keepnet because the wind changed direction and clapped it. Oh, there's a bite. I know this stretch is going to be used next week for the firemen. There's an emergency services festival. So good luck to everyone who's fishing in that. This is the airport stretch of Lower Lough Erne that I'm on. I've got some guys to my right hand side. They've been down for a night catching hybrids, so that's pretty good. At least the hybrids are in the area. Not busting myself, it's casting every 2 minutes. Oh, there's a nice bit of touch there. The bites that I did get were like 1 pluck and they were enough to smash the maggots and take the bait off, so I'm thinking that's small perch. It's a nice day for it. Mix today is Sensas Black Noire, Roach, or Gros Gardons Noire, basically black big roach, one that smells of dark chocolate, and I've added some chocolate mix to it to make it even more chocolatey. There we go, and I've bumped it off, have I? No, it's still on. That feels a bit better. Yeah, that's off. Let me change to a size 10 hook, bigger hook. But let's get another. Let's get some maggots on. Bait today is quite simple. It's just maggots and worm. I'm not going to fuck about hooking corn to trying to cast corn at, you know, that sort of distance just annoys me. Hook blunted. That hook. That's looks alright. Because you're fishing natural venues like this, you find that the hook sometimes gets trashed very quickly on rocks and shit. So you might have to change the hook length frequently. But that one looks like it's okay at the minute. On the bottom. So that's a rundown of the tackle for today. I'm using Old Faithful, the Dutch Master 12-foot 8, the 60 gram model. I have the 13-foot 4, 80 gram behind me. It's the one that's clipped up at 60 metres. This is clipped up at 55. I think I mentioned that, don't know. With the extremity reel from Preston Innovations. I should actually do a long-term review of this. It's not actually a bad reel for the money. I've had a few people reach out to me saying that they bought the Shimano FA feeder reel, the one that I did a review on that was not positive. They all kind of said the same sort of thing, you know, we wished we seen this before we bought them. The Shimano rep for Ireland, he actually got in touch with me, saying that he was apologetic for my negative experience. He didn't ask me to take the video down or anything like that there. He was just kind of asking me what problems I found with the reel. And I says, well, it's pretty much all in the review. He agreed that the problems were something that a lot of people faced. You know, I said to him that when the match guys that were advertising them were all saying get the spinning version, one for lure fishing. Something should have been ringing alarm bells at Shimano, but I guess it just didn't work. I know there was quality issues. They moved from one factory from one part of the world to another. When I sent the reel to my friend that services all my Shimano reels, he basically said the thing was a dog turd. Even with the carbon washers and the different ball bearings he put on it, the reel still had the problems where it would seize. And he basically said it was just purely because of the materials they used were substandard and the build quality was terrible. You know, total shock for Shimano, because usually Shimano's pretty good. But not much I can do about it. This is Saturday. We had Easter weekend last weekend. I was fishing last weekend. There wasn't any videos for last weekend. Or rather there was, but there wasn't anything put up on YouTube. I lost a trout, quite a nice trout. It looked quite decent. It managed to smash up my 5-pound hook length. But I only fished for a few hours. I didn't fish very long. Drury Bay is one of those places that if you're left alone, it's okay. If it's overcast, it's okay. You'll catch fish. But when the sun comes out, the fuckwits come out with it. because it's so shallow. It's only 6 to 10 feet deep, and it's flat. The bottom, there's no features, so the fish kind of sack back to the deeper water, wait at night, dusk through the night, and they'll move into the shallows to feed. I changed to a bigger hook. If this being the weekend, I thought I would go come somewhere where I wouldn't be pestered with boats, but they're just keeping their distance, which is good. I'm going to have to fix this Keepnet because it's collapsing in. So, let me get off this. I wonder where else I could put the damn thing. Without getting soaked.
Just then.
The whole of the loch, and they sit right on top of me. Christ. I have 10 fish. Some of them are alright actually. I have a rather nice perch and I've got a decent hybrid that pulled the arm off me. So it's not been a complete dead end today. The chaps that were to my right, I've packed up and fucked off. You know. The sunlight, the sun has been awesome today. It's been a day for fucking barbecuing and drinking beer. It's not been a day for fishing. It really has been a beautiful, beautiful day. We're getting a little bit of a breeze now, which is good, because this place fishes, you know, when it's a bit rough, it fishes a bit better when it's a bit rough. So the boat traffic's picking up a bit, but it is 10 to 3 on a Saturday afternoon. So I'm expecting the boat traffic to stay kind of crazy. I've been catching most of my fish on maggots. I haven't really tried corn or castor or anything like that there. I've been sticking to maggots. I'm having to, because of the winds kind of kicking in now, I'm really having to kind of put a bit of concentration into the casts. With feeder fishing, especially somewhere like here, you want your feeder to be landing in the same place or in the same sort of area. You know, if you went down to like a football pitch and you rigged up your feeder, you know, and you clipped up at 60 metres or 55, this rod's the 55 rod. I've had nothing on the 60 metre rod. You know, you've got to keep throwing the feeders at the same sort of distance. Well, that's wrong. Because they're clipped up, they're going to go that distance. It can't go fucking further than it's clipped up. You know, it's not going to be possible. So it's going to hit the 55 metres or the 60 metres or however long your clip is. It's going to hit that distance. So then you're talking about your left and your right, your left and your right arc, and where your feeders are going to fall. You know, you don't want to be putting all your feed into an area the size of a hula hoop. You know, I would be quite happy at the distance I'm fishing to have all of my feeders land in something about the size of a garage door, you know, that sort of size. And if the odd one falls short, or the odd one gets took by the wind and whips left, or whips what's going to be whipped right today, well then, you know, you just suck it up, shit happens. But you want to keep the feed going in consistently. You know, when I first got here, it was 60-second casts, basically a cast a minute, get a bed of feed down, and then hopefully the fish will come. Now I'm kind of slowing it down. It's kind of maybe sitting for 3 or 4 minutes on the bottom before I pull in and more bait it, put more ground bait in. I've had some interest, some guys in boats, fishing boats. How do you know you're too close to a bank angler? When the bank angler's swim feeder bounces off the side of your boat, you kind of know that you're too close to a bank angler. So thankfully they took the hint and fucked off. But it's been a good day. Well, it's been sunny. See, when the wind goes away, the sun is absolutely gorgeous. It's barbecue and cold beer sunshine. But with the wind, it's it's a bit nippy. I've had to put the hoodie on. Having to hold on to you because the strong gusts of winds might send you for a swim. We don't need to lose GoPros. I don't think I'll fish very long. I think I'll fish to about 4:30, 4:45, and then pack up and go home. You know, the wife's working tonight, so I have to look after the little one. The little one has discovered that she's got her first teeth are cutting through. So before, when it was kind of cute where she was kind of gumming your knuckles, or when you're holding her she was trying to bite your hand, it was kind of cute when it was like gums. It's not so cute when it's little razor blade teeth. But with teething kind of makes her more cranky, so I have to kind of keep the calpol going in to keep her kind of happy. Sedated would be the correct word. I'm enjoying being a dad. It's kind of changed my perception on a lot of things in the world. But I'm going to recast here, fill this swim feeder up again and recast, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Just then.
Something weird has happened. I've had 2 bites. Now they weren't serious ripper bites. The tip was just going like that there. Then I set the hook and I just got flat rodded. The rod just fucking went in half. It was like, what the hell? The rod didn't break. It just, whatever I hooked into, it took off. So I think I'm into trout. I think the trout are here. It's happened twice, and both times it's snapped the hook length. I'm only using a 5-pound hook length. But it isn't so bad. Beautiful weather. It's probably a bit too sunny for this sort of feeder fishing, but I guess it is what it is. Just I'm sitting on 11 fish. 11 fish. I don't know what I hooked into. Either it was a small fish that was grabbed by a pike, or it was like a trout or something. But Jesus, it just took off. I had to backwind and everything. Would be interesting maybe even to get a look at one of them. If it was a pike holding on to like a hybrid or something, then at least you'd kind of know it was what it was. Who knows? Some naughty fellow could have stuck sturgeon or something into the urn just for the shits and giggles. My aiming marker is the shipping post that's out in front of me. That's what I'm casting towards. It's always kind of good to pick something to aim towards. No point picking don't pick something daft like a fucking sheep in a field, you know. Sheeps will move. They'll be casting all over the place. Trees in the far bank, usually pretty good. But on the Erne, or any sort of waterway that has shipping markers, those are pretty good. They don't really move that much, they're stuck usually. If they are moving, something has went wrong. Point the tip of the rod to where you're aiming, bring it back in a nice slow motion, and then whip it forward. And that went a little bit to the right, but it's still good. I'm still happy enough with that. It hit the clip. The wind just pushed it this way a little bit, so it's not a problem. I then sink the tip until the feeder's on the bottom. I then get all the slack line out so that you have a little bit of a bend on the tip. And that means that your feeder's on the bottom, it's doing its thing. Your bait's slightly, it's just fluttering down behind the feeder. And all we need now is a fish to come and hoover up the bait, which will make the rod tip rip around like as a rod tip will do. A bite. See when the clouds leave and it's like nice and sunshiny, this is absolutely a beautiful place to be. But unfortunately when the sun's out like today, it makes the fishing that bit harder because the water being so clear. Believe it or not, this place actually fishes a hell of a lot better when it's blowing a gale and overcast as hell. There's a trench. If you go to my right, there's a couple of pegs onto my right where you're casting about 40 metres, 45 metres to get over the ledge. Because I'm a little bit, this is the further I go this way, the shallower it gets. So because I'm off the point, I'm putting, again, 55 metres and 60 metres is the two rods I'm chucking. I'm not bothering with small feeders. I'm chucking out bait up feeders to put bait down. I've been chucking bait up feeders all day because I can't be arsed changing to a smaller feeder. The thing with a window feeder, the great thing with a window feeder, it will fly out like a dart because all the weight's in the ass end. So you can fill as much bait into the middle of it as you can, then close the window with ground bait, whip it out to where you're fishing. The ground bait will basically dissolve, and all the particles will be pumped out to that area where you're fishing. But believe it or not, the actual fish will attack the window feeder. Let me just show you. Unlike this. This is a guru one. I've pressed the ones, and the only thing with the guru ones is you're meant to be able to take this lead off and put a lighter lead or a heavier lead on. Anyway, you can fill it up with all your particles. Oh, there's a bite there. And I've bumped it off. See? Talking shit to you people and I'm missing bites. I should really be concentrating instead of talking shit. Yeah, that was about. The maggots are smashed. Not even, I think that's what, 6 maggots. I'm not going with finesse tactics, I'm just wanting to get bait out there. Make it visible, make it so that the fish can see it. That's a bit better, that cast. That's more in line to where we're going. You don't need to be too paranoid about it. If you cast a bit short, then don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. You cast a bit short. Yeah, don't beat yourself up about it. Bite straight away. That will be the bait falling down, so it's probably a small fish. Now the waiting game begins. More bait in there. Just keep the bait going in. The only problem fishing a longer way out, you've got a right old bit to wind it in. Yeah, those maggots got smashed on the way down. So what's going on in the world? I'm still banned from Facebook. I'm in a 30-day jail period for laughing at a fly fisherman. apparently posting a funny meme about fly fishermen is bullying. That's about. Missed that one. Old Elon Musk is buying Twitter. That'll be funny. Somebody that's into free speech is buying a platform that is against free speech. Nothing on it. I think Twitter's a hellscape. I think it's a fucking awful platform. You know, I got kicked off Twitter for asking Stan Collymore how can he show his face after beating up women, and apparently that was victimizing and bullying people. Is there a fish on that? Holy fuck, there is. A little roach. But no, that's what I got banned off Twitter for, asking Stan Collymore why he's a wife beater. That got me kicked off Twitter for hate speeching. Yeah. And it wasn't like even the worst thing I could have possibly said to him, you know? There's like people on Twitter that you just think these guys are human garbage, you know. But I suppose the one thing with Twitter is it's a straight conduit to football stars and celebrities and people that really should be sheltered from giving us their opinions on life, because their opinions are shit. Not like my opinions being like top quality shit. But when you're getting some fucking idiot celebrity telling you that you should all drive electric cars and you should all fucking eat vegan food and all that sort of shit, I'm all for celebrities. I don't mind celebrities. Quite enjoy watching them on telly. But that's about it. When it comes to paying my rent, my bills and my mortgage, that's for me to do. And until the celebrities that I watch on telly start doing that for me, I will file their opinions in the same place I file the opinions of animal rights activists who think fishing is evil. Apparently I'm evil because I go fishing. I had an animal rights guy giving me earache. Some guy in Bristol, of all places. What was it he said? He said I'd love to bump into you someday and see how big and brave you are when I smash all your fishing rods. It's like, you what? Who's this? Okay, that feels a bit better. It doesn't feel like the flat rodding, whatever it was before. Of course, there's occasions where you're winding a fish in like this from that sort of distance, and the rod will just go slack, where a big hungry pike's come and snaffled it and just nipped off your unhooking link. Your hooking link becomes an unhooking link. There's the shock leader. This one should be here now soon. Do we need the net for you? We do! We need the net for you. Okay. Come here, little fish. That's not actually bad. I don't mind catching fish like that. There we go. Nice hybrid. Fish number 12. Fish number 12. I have to go and see Mr. Hitch's mother tonight, so I'm not fishing for very long. I got some photos and some fishing lures put into frames, one for Mrs. H's mum and one for his dad. They're not together no more, they divorced years ago, but they can have one each. And I got one built for myself. I'll show you a picture of them. I'll be quite honest, it knocked me for 6, what old Dwayne did. It really did. I've struggled with it. I've definitely struggled with it. And it's, you know, it's weird because I'm an armed forces veteran. That's not the weird part. The weird part is that it's nearly a ratio of about 8 or 9 to 1 for those people who I know that I served with or that I've known they're in the forces that have took their own life to those that were injured or killed in action. Military is great at teaching you how to be a warrior. It's not so good at sending you back to normality. But again, the military doesn't want you normal, they want you to do what they tell you, I guess. They want you to be the airman, sailor, soldier, marine, whatever you joined up as. Not that it's a slight against the military, they're very good at what they do. It's just when you leave, there's not a lot of support for you. Should I swing this one in? Yeah, I think I'll be brave and swing him in. Oh. Hello, fish number 13.
One hour later.
Here ends another day. It's time to call it quits. Got to get home early. I'm having a good day. Some poor bastard's having a bad one. That's the Coast Guard helicopter's just been over 2 times, so either they're dropping somebody off in the airport to get ambulance to the hospital. Usually when you see the Coast Guard guys coming in on the helicopter, they're not messing around, you know, when you see them coming in nice and slow and everything's cool, everything's fine. But when you see them moving with a bit of urgency, then someone's in a bad way. So let's hope it's nothing too serious. Gonna get the rods wound down, the gear all packed away, then we'll weigh what we got. I think I had about 20 fish. So let's see what we got. Time to weigh up and see what we got. Hey. I was getting a earache from people saying, you know, you didn't wet the waistline. I think we can safely say the waistline is wet. And the waistline is zeroed. Let me just set that there. Quite a decent bag, I think. Come on, you piece of shit work. Right, here we go. Seven and a half kilos. Let's get them released now, eh? Let's show you the water. And away they go.